One day in Austin history will live in infamy. August the 1st, 1966, when a sniper climbed to the top of the University of Texas Tower right behind me and started firing at random at individuals below. 16 people died and some 36 were wounded. It was the first mass college shooting of its kind in the US. Nowadays, they become routine. One South by Southwest documentary artfully recreates what happened on that day, partly through the use of animation. It's called Tower.
There is a sniper on the University Tower firing at will.
For those old enough to remember, the shootings in Austin on August the 1st, 1966 were truly horrifying. A 25-year-old engineering student at the top of a tower engaging in a killing spree.
This is the Department of English at the university. Someone has been shot.
This event really sliced a giant wound into the psyche of this town. Today, Austin is 2 million people, but back then it was only about 250,000. So everybody knew somebody. There were almost 50 people were shot that day. 16 killed, and so the connection points ran deep throughout the community.
The film blends animation with live action. Using animation to illustrate a mass killing may sound odd. The dialogue comes from younger actors repeating the words of the oral histories of the survivors and other participants. You could have put it together using live actors in a docudrama. What do you think animation brought to the final result?
Well, it's funny, when I first pitched the animation to several producers, I was rebuffed because they said, oh no, this is such a personal story and animation will really keep audiences at arm's length. But I've worked with animation before and I know the opposite is true. Animation allows for a type of intimacy that you couldn't get in live action without tremendous production value that I knew I wasn't going to be able to afford as an independent filmmaker.
The film arrives a few months short of the 50th anniversary of the shooting and also in advance of a controversial law going into effect in Texas which would enable students to carry firearms onto a campus. Violet Bean, who gives voice to shooting survivor Claire Wilson, hopes this film will make Texans reconsider their campus gun carry law.
The fact that someone next to you in a seat could have a gun in their backpack, that is absurd. So I hope Texans, see this movie and it makes them feel something and they want to speak out about it.
And the full impact of today's tragedy still has not been felt.
But Tower isn't so much an overt political film as a look at how humans respond to a crisis. One of the most remarkable characters is Claire Wilson. She was 18 years old and pregnant on August the 1st, 1966. Not only was she shot, but she also lost her baby, and her boyfriend, who was right next to her, died in the mayhem. Yet she has forgiven Charles Whitman, the sniper responsible for the slaughter.
I guess I just believe that people are constantly making choices, and he made some really horrible choices that hurt all of us, but I'm not ready to, I can't blame him. I think we all have the capacity for great evil in us, but we just keep making choices to not act out that evil.
Tower certainly engaged audiences at the festival, both with its original use of animation and its overall reconstruction of a tragic day. Although it's a film showing gun slaughter, it's not likely to shift entrenched opinion on gun ownership, although it does show without any doubt the true heartbreak that firearms can bring.